Okay. The attorney-client litigation session is concluded. We will now reconvene the special meeting.
Mr. Mayor, can we bring up the item about what we're going to do Wednesday for the interview with the city manager?
Yes, Mr. Coberline.
Mayor, council, we can discuss items so long as we don't take any action. For example, talking about the format, talking about how to evaluate things like that. We should not take any action tonight, but if you have discussions, for example, question about when your writing becomes a public record or something else, we can entertain those now.
Okay, when we're doing the interviews Wednesday, and we take notes, those are public records.
It becomes a fine line and a more intertwined question of whether or not those notes are help you relay your opinions or your views. For example, obviously, if something happens Wednesday morning and we have to adjourn the meeting or recess it and reconvene at 2:30 and you write 2:30 as a reminder, that's not necessarily public record because you're not using that material to relay your opinions and or views to another city councilman or public employee. So if you start taking notes, a volume of notes, even if they are of substance, if you're just taking them to go home with as a reminder, then they don't always become a public record.
Okay.
I wish I could give a one-size-fits-all conclusion on that, but I've had that discussion, very intertwined discussion a month ago regarding a employee of the city's notes.
I would like to see at the end, and I know we can't take any action, but I would like to see at the end of talking to the four when we do the debrief, I wouldn't be against us all ranking individually and then maybe picking the top two and seeing about setting something up and, for an interview for them maybe early January. And that way you can pare it down pretty quick. All four, I don't know if you've done the research, they look pretty good, so.
They do.
I think one of them dropped out, didn't
There was the original four, and then she added another one so that we'd still get four.
Yeah.
Her fifth one moved up to four.
Well, I'm like Mr. Bowden, because I got some questions I want to ask myself. So would that be a problem?
I think as long as the same question is asked to every candidate, I think that's the crucial piece. The way HR law is, that would be something Mr. Coberline would know more about. I know when you're just interviewing someone, you've got to have the same question. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have a different follow-up based on what they say, but.
You should have similar questions for evaluation so that you're not being arbitrary and or capricious, meaning that you're just whimsically asking someone questions to eliminate them and being unfair. But you can ask different questions. For example, an obvious one is going to be Mr. and Miss Jane Doe, when you were up in Vermont, for example, as opposed to someone else over in Michigan, what was it like there? Another one would be someone with experience in Florida or another state that has very open public records laws and or sunshine laws. You would ask them what similarities they see to Florida, whereas you wouldn't ask someone else. For example, Maine, I don't believe has very open public records laws as far as my dealing with a manager from Maine recently. You would ask them a different question. How do they plan on getting up to speed? But you don't have to ask the exact same questions, but they certainly should be germane to the individual that you're asking them of so that you don't appear to be trying to stump them for the sole purpose of eliminating them. So I guess what I should say, Mr. Hill, is that, of course, your questions should be fair to the individual. Chair.
All right, anything else? All right, we'll be adjourned.